After 7 years, I finally made a decision. I'm going to propose to Alex. But I didn't expect that on the day of the proposal, he would run through the city in a storm. Go meet another girl. And that girl had expressed her love to him thousands of times. I try every time but never get it. When the news came that Lily's family went bankrupt, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. I couldn't wait to share the good news with my boyfriend. But when I opened the office door, I saw him sitting in front of the computer with an annoyed look on his face. He seemed to be thinking about something, and I didn't notice it even when I came in. He didn't react until I walked behind him. I hurriedly closed the web page on my computer. But I saw the title of the page at a glance. Ethan's company went bankrupt. Where will Ethan go? Ethan is Lily's father, and he is the one who has caused us countless troubles. I smiled and said, so you already knew it. Do you want to celebrate tonight? But he looked at me strangely, hesitated for a moment, and asked again, are you happy that their family has gone bankrupt? I was puzzled for a moment and couldn't help asking him, why, are you unhappy that their family went bankrupt? Alex smiled, happy, I'm very happy. But the veins on his hand holding the phone were bulging. I noticed that something was wrong with him and wanted to ask him what was going on. But just before he could open his mouth, his cell phone rang. Alex seemed to be startled and swung his hand subconsciously. He dropped his newly bought cell phone on the floor, which was vibrating and playing the incoming call music. And on the call interface, 2 words were displayed, Lily. Alex. I called his name, do you want to answer her call? Alex looked at me hesitantly and finally picked up the phone. A familiar, delicate cry came from the other end. I closed my eyes. Lily is Ethan's daughter, a spoiled young lady who just went bankrupt today. I have liked Alex for 7 years. He is a hardworking and tough guy. It was also a shadow that haunted me for 7 whole years. Alex and I both have a close relationship with people with the last name Ethan. The origin of this story can be traced back to when we were in college. Alex and I met in college. At that time, Alex was the president of the student union and I was the head of the arts and literature department. It was almost natural for the 2 of us to be together. We couldn't think of anyone else worthy of each other. Our circle of friends and social circles almost completely overlapped, and we were a famous golden couple in the school. Maybe because we made it public so early, few people with other intentions took the initiative to contact him and me. After all, our names always appear together. If someone asks me my name, our mutual friends will always say, you should ask about Alex, that's Alex's wife. If you ask Alex, someone will always say, ask Alex, Judy's boyfriend. Even if someone came up to us tactlessly, they would start to back off after seeing how close we were. But Lily is an exception. Lily suddenly appeared next to Alex. According to her, Alex saved her life. She also has a secret crush on Alex, so she wants to be with Alex. Alex said, big sister, I have a girlfriend. Lily said, it's okay, I'll wait for you to break up with her. Lily looks good, but her academic performance is not good. Her family went through a lot of trouble to get her into our school. It is said that his family's power is beyond our reach. So, I am also very curious about how Alex could have the ability to save such a rich lady. The first time I met Lily was on an ordinary Friday afternoon. No matter how Alex rejected Lily, it was useless. In desperation, he had to let me step in. During that meeting, Alex peeled shrimps for me the whole time, and the 2 of us were more affectionate than ever before. But I didn't expect that even so, Lily had no intention of backing down. Instead, when Alex went to pay the bill, he officially declared war on me. Sister, do you believe it? Alex will be my man sooner or later. How did I respond to her at that time? I put the knife and fork on the plate and smiled at her gently. Little sister, I have never stopped Alex from liking other people. Yes, I never stopped Alex from liking other people. Alex and I are attracted to each other spiritually. That's why I have been able to go on for 7 years and face countless obstacles, but remain as determined as at the beginning. Now that the Lily family has fallen, we finally have a chance to breathe. Lily, who couldn't get what she wanted, was simply a lunatic. Lily is a lunatic, and Lily's father, Mr. Ethan, is a crazy man who dotes on his daughter. It wasn't obvious when we were in school, but after Alex and I graduated, we both realized what real power is. Alex is very talented and unwilling to be inferior to others, so he prepared to start a business as soon as he entered society. Can fail repeatedly. At first, I thought we didn't do something right. Until one day, Alex and I stopped Party A at his doorstep. I beg you for an order. Party A said with embarrassment, it's not that I don't want to cooperate with you, think about it, who have I offended? Alex and I just graduated and have very few social connections. How could we offend anyone? So we had to stay up all night to review the people we met when we founded the company, for fear of missing something and offending anyone. You know, others can cut off many of our contracts with just a word. I didn't expect that the big shot whom we searched all night and couldn't find would come forward to claim his identity. The next day when we went to work, Lily was waiting at the company gate. "Alex, did you see how hard it is to start a company?" she said, "but as long as you are willing to be my boyfriend, whether you join my family business or start your own business. It's all just a matter of finger-hooking." That day, Alex was furious. The company is the result of his hard work, and it was created by him, me, and many other people. But it just took shape and was about to fall apart. Lily was like a kid playing with building blocks, pushing it gently and maliciously. Alex stepped forward and tried to push Lily. But I stopped him and said, "You are not in college anymore, you have to endure it." The person behind Lily is Ethan, who is not someone we can afford to offend. Alex and I have put in 180 times the effort and hope to get the corresponding rewards. But every time the company was on the verge of success, it was easily brought down by Lily. Ethan spoils his daughter and occasionally puts pressure on Alex. When things were at their worst, Alex and I were staying in a rental house, with no food to eat. I asked him, "Why don't you just agree to Lily's offer and marry into Lily's family?" Alex was angry. The hands that washed my feet were not yet dry when he came to twist my nose. "What did you say? What did you say? Say it again?" Alex said, "Judy, for you, I can give up my career." In fact, we were not the only ones who were unhappy at the time. Lily's pain is no less than ours. The daughter of the richest man in High City, she is also very good-looking. It is rare to like someone, but that person already has someone in his heart. She chased after him but couldn't catch up. Everyone knows that in order to pursue Alex, Lily delivered lunchboxes to his company every day. She was standing under our rental house and calling Alex's name. She sneaked into Alex's team building and flew a kite with Alex's name on it. Her love was passionate and bold, and everyone in the city knew about it. When she was in the most pain, she waited downstairs of our rental house all night. It was pouring rain and I was the first one who couldn't hold on any longer. I finally persuaded Alex to go down with me. "Alex." When she saw me and Alex walking one after the other, her eyes that had been brightened dimmed again. "Please respond to me. My dad asked me to go on a blind date. If you don't respond to me, I won't be able to pursue you." Alex handed her the umbrella. "Don't chase me, I don't like you." Lily doesn't keep her word either. Having said that, I may soon stop liking Alex. But I don't know where the energy came from suddenly, and I kept chasing Alex and never gave up. Alex doesn't like Lily. Alex only likes Judy. I have to say, I was annoyed by Lily's relentless pursuit at that time. But I am indeed somewhat proud of Alex's loyalty. Alex hung up the phone with Lily. Leaning back in the boss chair, he closed his eyes. "Such a big company." Alex said slowly, "It just closed down like this." I understand his surprise. After all, Ethan Group is like a big hand that can control Haicheng. In the blink of an eye, dozens or even hundreds of small businesses like ours can be killed. I saw it entertaining guests, and I saw its building collapse. The shock of this is so great that it cannot be expressed in just a few words. It's time to celebrate. Alex smiled and said, "Let's go to your favorite restaurant for dinner tonight." Well, that restaurant is not a high-end one, but it has special meaning to Alex and I as it helped us get through the most difficult times. We like to go to that restaurant to celebrate whenever we have nothing to do. When I sat down, I couldn't help stroking the small box in my pocket. Placed here are 2 plain rings that I had my eyes on for a long time. When Alex and I were dating before, he was always the one who took the initiative. Today, I also want to take the initiative. But Alex's condition today is very wrong. Especially after it rains. He would be in a trance from time to time and was often absent-minded. When I talk to him, I sometimes have to repeat myself twice. And when he sat down to eat, he was clearly eating, but he looked like he wanted to leave at any time. This made me stop wanting to take out the ring. "Alex?" I asked him, "Are you worried about something?" "No." He seemed to be suddenly awakened. No, before he could finish his words, his phone suddenly rang. Hello, the phone call was like a life-saving straw. He picked up the phone quickly, glanced at me nervously, and ran to the door to make the call. My hand went into my pocket and gripped the ring box fiercely. I lowered my head and thought for a moment, then I saw that Alex had already answered the phone. He came back like a gust of wind, frowned, and spoke quickly and softly. "Something happened to Lily." "Something happened to Lily." I asked Alex, "What does it have to do with you?" Huh? Alex didn't hear clearly. Or rather, he deliberately didn't hear clearly. It was a pity that there was no mirror and Alex couldn't see the anxiety that was obvious on his face. He was worried about Lily, so worried that he couldn't even hear what I said. But he kept explaining, Lily. Lily cut her wrists and is now in the hospital. The doctor called me. I interrupted him again, are you going to see her? Alex stopped talking. After a moment, would you like to accompany me to see her? Our date came to an end. The proprietress smiled and said, we won't serve you the rest of the dishes yet, we'll make up for it next time you come. I laughed too, let's talk about it later. Alex didn't bother to talk, his mind wasn't on this, he felt like he was about to fly away. Once they rushed to the hospital, Alex's worries became even more apparent. Alex handed me a card and said, Lily's family has no money now, you go and pay her bill first, I'll go see her. I thought Lily might still be on the operating table. After all, Alex looked so anxious, as if his wife had died. But I didn't expect that after I paid the fee, I found out that Lily had already been sent to the ward. The wound she had was not deep, and she called an ambulance in time. I walked slowly to the ward, and as soon as I opened the door, I saw Lily lying on the bed. Alex stood in front of her bed with a gloomy face. You should know your limits when being willful, don't take your own life lightly. And Lily saw me. The pale girl suddenly jumped into Alex's arms as if she was equipped with a spring. Alex, please, you are all I have left in this world. I was silent for a long time and said, girl, that's not right, isn't your father still waiting for you in prison? At worst, your mother is at home. How come Alex is the only one left? I watched coldly but said nothing. Until Alex couldn't help but put his hand on Lily's head. Alex. I couldn't help but call out to him. Alex felt like he was pricked by a hedgehog. But he was still very gentle and didn't dare to use force when pushing her away. But the words he said still felt like a knife. Lily, if you don't love yourself, no one will love you. No matter how many times, I have to tell you that I will never, ever like you. Lily's face turned pale, but I saw Alex's fingers clenched until they turned white. The body's reactions don't lie. I sighed. Alex had already grabbed my hand. Now that your family has fallen, we are no longer afraid of your father stirring up trouble. I will marry Judy, and I hope you will give up and move on with your life. Alex's words made Lily cry. Alex, my dad has advised me so many times, but I still insist on liking you. I have lost my home, but I still think about you. How could you? How could you? Alex squeezed my hand tighter. Alex and I have liked each other for 7 years, and you, an unknown person, want to interfere. How could you do that? After making sure I had paid Lily the bill, Alex took me out of the hospital. I will hire a good nurse for you. This is the only friendship we have left as classmates. Before leaving, Lily leaned quietly on the hospital bed and suddenly started to say something harsh. Alex, you will like me. You've been getting better and better to me. Alex said that he and I have been in love for 7 years and no one else can easily interfere. But at this moment, as I was lying in bed, I actually felt that what he said about being in love for 7 years might be an illusion. Am I really that in love with Alex? If we really love each other that much, why is Alex distracted around me? Why did he receive 4 or 5 calls from caregivers in one night? Why? When he came back, he subconsciously put his hand in my pocket to keep warm. But when my fingertips touched the jewelry box hidden in my coat pocket, why do you pull your hand away as if you were electrocuted? I woke up late at night and there was no one next to my bed. When I looked over there sleepily, I saw that the light in the study was on. It's Alex, he's on the phone. Not with Lily, but with Lily's caregiver. Is she okay, now? Still not eating? Have you tried seafood porridge? She likes seafood very much. Let the porridge cool down before feeding it to her, so as not to scald her. Those instructions covered every detail, no matter how big or small. I just found out that Lily likes to eat seafood. It turns out that Alex can take care of people like this. Alex was in a bad mood today. After hanging up the phone, he rubbed his eyebrows hard. I waited for him at the door for a long time, but he didn't get up. Until I couldn't wait any longer and went back to my bedroom. When I woke up the next day, there was still no one by the bed. When I came out of the bedroom, I saw that the door was suddenly opened. Alex walked in from outside, holding a bag of dumplings and 2 bottles of soy milk. Seeing me pouring water, he was stunned for a moment. Why are you up so early? Look, I just finished my morning run and bought you a bun. I paused in pouring the water. Finally, I couldn't bear it anymore and asked, Alex, you went out for a morning run, and you were wearing a suit? Alex is not a stupid person. He is always meticulous in his work and rarely makes mistakes in his daily interpersonal relationships. He made such a mistake only because his mind was filled with other things. Maybe Lily is all on my mind. As I thought about this, I asked out loud. When you went out this morning, did you go to see Lily? He was visibly panicked. What did you say? Judy, I can't say anymore what I did to her, what I did to her, what I did to her. It's okay, I closed my eyes. Alex, you paid for her hospital bills. I've found a caregiver for her. Can you promise me that you won't see her again? You have done your best for her. Alex has probably never seen me so calm. So, he couldn't wait to speak. I promise you, I will never see her again. Yes, too quickly. I told Alex, there won't be a next time. Alex agreed. Of course, he could sense that his excessive concern for Lily was inappropriate. So the moment I reminded him, he realized that he had gone too far. In other words, from the very beginning, he had been fighting against himself, trying not to be attracted to Lily. Alex was wavering a little in our relationship. I know it clearly, and I am really heartbroken. But I still don't want to give up Alex, so I reminded him. I noticed his slight hesitation in time and pulled him back. I can't break up with him just because he doesn't pay attention to me. After all, he was so good to me. But, Alex, if you don't love me anymore, there's no point in me being with you. I told him, there will be no next time, the next time will be different. Next time, you won't just be hesitant about your feelings. Alex should have understood. He put everything on the table, walked over and hugged me gently. Judy, I was wrong. I don't like her. Alex is actively correcting himself. After saying that he would not look for Lily again, he really stopped going to the hospital. I also transferred 10 days' salary to the caregiver in one go. As for the caregiver's calls, he no longer answered them. I even daydream less often and feel energetic every day. When I wake up in the morning, I am full of energy to prepare for new work. I seem to see Alex when he was a student. Cheerful, confident, sunny, and positive. Our company was able to survive despite Ethan's suppression. Now that Ethan has fallen from grace, things are getting better and better. The entire company is full of enthusiasm. And Alex has the aura of a new business star. On this day, Alex negotiated a contract that had been going on for a long time. So we decided to go to the barbecue park for team building as there weren't many people around on Wednesday. Amid the cheers of my colleagues, he whispered to me, Alex, I will give you a big surprise when the time comes. So funny, what is a surprise called if it is announced in advance? I didn't expect that Alex really gave me a big surprise. On the day of the team building, I asked Alex to go first because I had a document to confirm. And I took another taxi to find them. But I didn't expect that when I arrived at the barbecue park, I met an old acquaintance. Lily. She sat among a group of colleagues. We couldn't bring ourselves to kick her out, but most people knew about the entanglement between Lily and us, so they felt uncomfortable staying with us. And Alex stood there with a gloomy look on his face. When he saw me coming, he quickly came up to me and said, Alex, I don't know. He didn't know why Lily came here suddenly. But Lily has the habit of being as sticky as a sticky candy. It would be abnormal if she suddenly let it go and stopped pestering Alex. At this moment, Lily seemed to have opened up her Ron and Dew meridians. She no longer wore her previous luxury clothes, and her arrogant look disappeared. He didn't even take the initiative to move towards Alex's position. She was wearing an off-white coat, had no makeup on, and looked pale. Like a little white flower trembling in the cold wind. What should I do now? Should he chase her away? Or should he pull Alex to claim his sovereignty? Or should he just tell her proudly, your father is dead, and you have nothing to fight with me for? These are undoubtedly the worst options. What I should have done was to openly take Alex's sleeve, tell everyone to eat and drink well, ignore Lily as if she didn't exist, and then shyly accept the surprise Alex said he would give me. But I found myself unable to bear it. I was able to tolerate Lily, who was arrogant and made a big fuss about wanting to steal my boyfriend. But facing Lily, who looked at me timidly like a little white flower, I couldn't bear it anymore. Because I know that facing the arrogant Lily, Alex was only angered by her, and then he remained firm in his love for me and never had any doubts about it from then on. And when facing Lily, who is like a little white flower, Alex is so relaxed that he feels a pity that is not far from love. So, for the first time, I left behind the demeanor of my future boss and my partner. He smiled and said to Alex, since you don't know how she got here, you might as well let her go now. Alex's brows furrowed. That's right. He has always been like this. In the past, Lily attacked him aggressively, so he avoided Lily and his relationship with me became deeper. But now that Lily has met with a miserable end, he feels sorry for her and thinks I am deliberately making things difficult for her. She's already here. Alex whispered, is it unnecessary? Alex thinks there is no need for me to be so harsh on Lily. But doesn't he know why Lily came here? He could refuse the other party before, why can't he refuse now? I sneered, okay, if you say it's not necessary, then it's not necessary. Most of the people present didn't like Lily, so even if she stayed here, she wouldn't feel at ease, but would feel lonely instead. Lily looked more and more lonely. And Alex looked at her uncontrollably several times. The finance girl patted my arm gently and asked in a low voice, "What's wrong?" I kept silent. The finance girl whispered to me again, "I say, you'd better keep an eye on boss Alex. We finally got together, so don't let someone steal your home away from you." Yes, everyone in the company could see the clues. It can be seen that Lily used to join our team-building team every time. She yelled loudly and expressed her love several times, but Alex didn't even look at her. It can also be seen that this time she remained silent, but Alex looked at her repeatedly. I took a sip of wine and whispered, "Whatever you want, if it's not mine, I can't take it back. If it's mine, no one else can take it away." The finance girl's expression changed, "That's not the case." The climax of the whole team-building event was when others talked about Lily's family. Now that the Lily family is in decline, people no longer have to consider Lily's thoughts when talking about the Lily family. Especially when Lily's family caused a lot of difficulties for our company, everyone in the company, from top to bottom, was holding their breath. So, everyone talked about how much Ethan deserved it. It is sad to see the collapse of the Lily family business, and how many innocent employees lost their jobs. As they talked, they started talking about the terrible things Lily and Ethan had done in order to get Alex and Lily together. Lily, who had not even glanced at him, suddenly stood up. Her eyelids were thin and red, and a little swollen if you looked closely. The other party pursed his lips tightly, held up the wine glass, and in the blink of an eye, tears as big as beans rolled down. "Judy," she called my name, "I'm sorry, I was ignorant before and hurt you and brother Alex. Later, my father was put in jail and I was left to make my way in the world on my own. I only realized how difficult it is when I needed to support myself and my mother. I don't know if the other party was apologizing to me." Until the other person drank the full glass of wine in one gulp. "Lily." Alex suddenly lost control and called her. Then he took 3 steps forward and snatched the cup from her hand. "You are allergic to alcohol. Don't you know?" I asked Alex, "How do you know she is allergic to alcohol?" Indeed, I have never seen Lily drink. She has been sticking around Alex for so long, but I have never seen her pick up a glass of wine once. Only this time, she sat among the group of employees at the team building, holding a glass of wine, taking a sip now and then. I did notice that her eyelids were red, but I thought it was because she had cried before coming. The only thing I didn't expect was that she was allergic to alcohol. Alex refused to answer my questions. Because once Alex took Lily's glass, she poured it somewhere else. And Alex, almost subconsciously, pulled Lily into his arms. I asked again, "Alex, how do you know she likes seafood? And how do you know she is allergic to alcohol?" Alex pursed his lips, holding her waist tightly with one hand and searching his pocket for the car keys with the other. They were so close, just like that time in the hospital when she hugged him tightly. However, at that time he still resisted and struggled. At this time, his face was full of worry, and his colleagues around him knew what was going on. They looked like a couple being beaten. I once told Alex that there will be no next time. I should give up. But I still didn't give up, so I asked, "Alex, aren't you going to give me a surprise?" Alex found the car keys, but paused. "Alex. The surprise is in the car, right?" I asked him. At this point, colleagues had already noticed that something was wrong and gathered around. Especially the group of people who saw Lily was allergic to alcohol, they came to the front of us. "Don't be anxious, boss Alex, you stay here with Judy first, we will take Ms. Lily to the hospital." Alex couldn't vent his anger on me, but someone finally hit him in the face. "Why aren't you anxious? She's allergic." His voice was not small. The colleague who came to give advice with good intentions was stunned on the spot. "Sorry," Alex said. My colleague was also good-tempered and said softly, "I am in a hurry too, so I will send her there quickly. I haven't drunk alcohol, so I can drive." Alex hesitated. But at this moment, Lily coughed, "Alex, I want you to take me there." "Alex, all I have is you." It's really heartbreaking to see the girl shedding tears. I watched helplessly as my colleague put down his hand to pick up the person. I watched as Alex's eyes became determined. "Alex, come with me." I couldn't help but laugh. Why bother? Even at this time, he still asked me to go with him to take Lily to the hospital. What is he trying to hide? So I smiled and said, you should go quickly, allergies are not a small problem. I have to deal with company matters, so I won't go. Alex really listened to me and walked towards the parking lot holding Lily. The operations girl showed an expression of pity. I couldn't help but call out to Alex, Boss Alex, didn't you say that there was a surprise for Judy to see? Yes, but Alex was already very anxious because he was stopped again and again. So he turned around and said to me seriously, Alex, when I come back, I will give you a surprise. I said, okay, I'll wait for you. He felt relieved and left with Lily in his arms. He probably really thought I would wait for him. After all, that's how it used to be. After graduation, he and I supported each other. We are lovers, loved ones, and people who share weal and woe. Together we built our little dreamland into a skyscraper. I have also gotten drunk at countless dinner parties just to get an investment. I accompanied him through his most difficult times. I also spent every happy moment with him. Because I had been with him for so long, he thought it was natural for me to wait there. After Alex carried Lily away, the operations girl came forward hesitantly. Judy, don't be angry with Boss Alex, he really has a surprise prepared for you. I don't know whether the surprise he prepared for me was a surprise or not. However, Lily's appearance in the team building was a big surprise. The operations girl probably saw that I had given up on Alex. He explained to me with gestures, Boss Alex wants to propose to you today. You asked me for advice and ordered a trunk full of flowers and balloons, just waiting for you to open them. What about flowers? I asked her. The operations girl was stunned. Alex took her away, right? I laughed, and Lily was with her. The operations girl stopped talking. It was also the first time that I left the stall that Alex left for me. You guys take your time to have fun, I'm going back first, I have something to do. Before I left, that junior colleague called me and said, Senior, if you have something to say, just talk to us nicely and don't argue. Okay, I do have something to do. But he was not in a hurry to go to the hospital to get Alex back. Instead, we hurried back to where we lived to pack our things. Alex and I have been living together since we graduated, from the basement at the beginning to the large flat now. Along the way, there are so many things in my home that belong to me. I couldn't sort it out for a while. So, I had to take all the important documents, as well as my toiletries and change of clothes. I sent a message to the HR manager and asked for leave. I want to take all my previous vacations at once this time. We were working hard to start the business. Our employees were taking a break, but Alex and I didn't. Now if I calculate it, my vacation has been almost 2 months. The HR manager said he understood. The boss and his wife were having a conflict. Boss Judy, you can take a break anytime and as long as you want. I hummed. While taking out his cell phone to book a flight. By the way, Boss Judy. The HR manager suddenly stopped me when I was about to hang up the phone. Boss Alex told me to arrange a position for Lily. I smiled and said, it doesn't matter, you can arrange it. You don't need to ask me for my opinion in the future. My visa was expedited. I was already on my way to the airport when Alex called me. Judy, where are you? I didn't answer him. He continued talking to himself on the other end of the phone. I sent Lily to the hospital and hired the same nurse as before. She looked really scary when she had an allergy just now, but I won't contact her anymore. I interrupted him, Alex, you are also afraid that I will be angry. That's why he was so anxious to explain to me. But, you know I will be angry and disappointed. I told you clearly, there won't be a next time. Why do you still do some things? Do you think I will indulge you endlessly? Alex was silent. After a long time, a voice came from the other end of the phone. He asked cautiously, Judy, I told you I had a surprise for you, do you want to see it? I'll come to you now. Don't look for me. I said, Alex, I don't need surprises anymore. Those preparations can no longer be called surprises. The surprise should be a careful preparation that I see with excitement and joy. It should be the kind of heartthrob that brought tears to my eyes. Rather than making amends after you've done something wrong. Judy? He opened the door from the other end of the line. He must have come home and broke into our house. You see, I know him well. He is still very smart when there is no one else in his mind. He knew to check the drawer first, to see my important documents, and then to look for my underwear to see if anything was missing. He asked me again, Judy? Where did you go? Alex, I said, let's break up. Alex learned about my leave from the HR department. He was smart enough to know that I was on my way to the airport based on the ambient sound he heard when I was talking to him. Judy, he called me on the phone, wait for me, I can explain. He couldn't wait to hold something. I heard with my own ears the roar of a huge engine coming from the other end. Judy, listen to me, don't board the plane yet. We need to solve any problem right now. You see, he knows it too. Don't leave any misunderstandings, solve any problems immediately. Otherwise, those misunderstandings will never be resolved, and some people will be missed for a lifetime. But why, when it was his turn, he pretended not to understand? Alex, do you think I'm going out to escape this matter? Do you think that if you don't resolve this matter with me face to face, once you let me go, there will be no chance of winning me back? Alex didn't say anything. Maybe he was concentrating on driving. Maybe I hit the nail on the head on his mind. I advised him, don't be in a hurry, drive slowly, I have already entered the boarding gate. Alex, even if you fly over here, you can't stop me. There was a sharp sound of brakes. Alex's voice was hoarse and painful. Judy, you can't do this to me, how can you be so cruel to me? Why can't I do this to you? I asked him, Alex, I'm not running away at all. Because I have made up my mind now. I want to break up with you. I can do this to you because I don't like you anymore. I don't know if Alex came to the airport that day. But in short, I will no longer wait there like I did before, waiting for him to make a choice. Where did I go? Of course, the purpose is to spend 2 months of vacation and travel around to relax. To experience the customs and culture of each country. It doesn't matter where you go, it's better than wasting your youth on the entanglement between Alex and Lily. I look at blonde, blue-eyed handsome guys in bars in Europe. Seeing all kinds of young men with big shorts and sticking out butts on the beach. I bought a lot of souvenirs and sent them back like water. This was the first time I experienced the joy of spending money like water. Before, both Alex and I came from poor families. I started my own business right after graduation. I didn't have much spare money. In order to save money. Not to mention living in the basement, it was common for 2 people to eat steamed buns and pickles. Later, our situation got a little better, and I thought we had to get married someday. If we get married, we need a house. So, I let Alex save his money. I also saved my salary into the card. I hope we have a house of our own in Haishur. Until our company was getting better and better, Alex had money and bought a large flat. I have also developed a habit of being frugal and reluctant to spend money indiscriminately. But now, I know that spending money really feels good. I spent a full month and a half abroad. It wasn't until the end of my vacation that I started booking my return ticket. During this time, my WeChat kept ringing, and the people who contacted me included Alex and others. Alex came to explain to me that he had nothing to do with Lily. The others are Alex's lobbyists. He kept convincing me that Alex and I had been together for 7 years and it would be a pity to break up. When they talked about those 7 years, they were more familiar with it and more emotionally sincere than I was. They talked about how Alex stayed with me for 7 years. They said how much Alex loved me during those 7 years was well known. Finally, I want to ask you a question. Don't you remember anything about the past? Of course I remember. If Alex's 7 years weren't so good, I could convince myself. But he has been consistent with me for 7 years. How can I accept his indecision when he has cherished me for 7 years? I never blocked Alex's contact information, read his explanation, and didn't answer his calls. If there is anything happening at the company, please contact us directly via WeChat text message. Even when I returned to China, I didn't go back to Haishur, but went straight back to my hometown. Before I came back, I said hello to my parents. So I just walked to the door. I smelled the aroma of the braised pork that my father was best at making. Of course, I also saw Alex who had been waiting at the door for a long time. I pulled my suitcase and prepared to walk into the yard. But he suddenly grabbed her arm. Judy, at least give me a chance to explain. Alex called me, okay? I don't want to argue with him in front of my parents. So, even though my parents knew I had broken up with him, I still brought him home and treated him to a meal. I smiled and said, if you have anything to say, just say it. That was the first time I heard Alex analyze himself. He said he was like a madman. He said he was sure he hated Lily before. And until now, I still haven't fallen in love with Lily. But he had been pursued so passionately by Lily. I have seen this wild, naive and cruel little girl. See her fall from being high above to being down on earth. I just can't bear it. He said, her father is also in prison, can't we give her a little sympathy? He said, can you please not be so malicious towards her? Judy, you are a girl too, you know it's not easy for her. At this moment, my heart is deader than dead. I suddenly realized that from the time I saw Alex's love for Lily until now, I have never shed a tear for him. Let me tell you why I can't tolerate her. I whispered, because you are attracted to her. You keep saying that you can't bear it, but when she is waiting for you in the pouring rain. When she flew the kite with your name on it into the sky, when she went to the company to look for you again and again. You keep saying no, but your heart is moved every time. She cuts her wrists, and you are worried. She is allergic, and you don't feel comfortable leaving her with anyone else. Alex, do you know what kind of relationship would make you reluctant to give a girl to other people? Of course, there were times when Alex was worried about leaving me with other people. Once, he and I invited a representative of Party A to dinner. The other person likes to drink and also likes to watch others drink. Even when I said I couldn't drink much, he wouldn't let me go. I was the first to get drunk and slumped over the table. Alex's assistant came over and wanted to take me away, but was stopped by Alex. You can get a private room and put her next to it. I would feel uneasy if I let her leave my sight easily. But later on, he became worried about others leaving his sight. Alex wanted to deny it, but I heard it. I said, that night you told the nurse little by little. I heard everything Lily said about what she liked and what she didn't like. I also know that you were planning to propose to me. You brought a cart full of flowers, and there was a ring among the flowers. But you don't know that before you proposed to me. I was planning to propose to you long before you went to find Lily. You clearly touched that jewelry box, why are you pretending not to know? It's not that I haven't given you a chance, nor will I explode if you make a mistake once. I gave you a chance. It's just that you don't want it. Alex dropped his hands in despair. Is there no possibility of returning to the past? He asked me. You've already fallen in love with someone else, what's the point of going back to the past? I asked him, are you disgusted by me or yourself? My parents came over several times to add water, shaking their heads and wondering what I was talking about with him. Until it started raining outside. Logically, as the host, I should be polite and keep the guests. But I couldn't say these words for a long time. Until I heard a familiar voice amidst the sound of heavy rain, Alex, it's Lily, she is following Alex. Alex, I actually feel sorry for you sometimes. I said to him, how are you going to live the rest of your life if you are entangled like this? This is the only time I get to express my happiness. Alex gave me a long look. He opened a huge black umbrella and walked out of the yard. Lily was standing outside the yard. When she saw Alex coming over with a black umbrella, she ran under Alex's umbrella. Alex stepped aside. Then the two people, holding umbrellas, disappeared in the rain. Later, I met Alex once or twice. It's about company matters. We founded the company together. Alex and I contributed the most, so we have a considerable share. When we were together, although the shares were not in his hands alone. But he can also be said to have absolute control over the company. But when I broke up with him, everything was different. My initial thought was to sell my shares to Alex. For this reason, before going to the company, I made a special appointment with Alex to meet in a cafe. During this time, he exchanged greetings several times. Boss Alex, if you don't talk business, I'll leave. I said to him with a smile. Alex really wants to buy out my shares. But when Alex and I were talking, Lily suddenly rushed in. When we met for the first time, he lost his cool, picked up the coffee at hand and splashed it on my face. Judy. Why are you haunting me? She asked me. Of course, I didn't get splashed with coffee. Alex stood in front of me. He wiped his face and asked me softly, Judy, are you okay? It's okay. I smiled and picked up the bag next to me. Since Boss Alex's girlfriend is here, I'll take my leave first. Judy. Alex wanted to stop me, but was stopped by Lily. She shouted, Alex, do you want to let me down? Before I walked out the door, I faintly heard Alex say, I'm sorry for Judy. In the end, the transfer of shares to Alex was never finalized. I sold my shares to another shareholder. It rained heavily on the day I signed the contract, but I had to catch the high-speed train. I smiled and said, so you already knew it. Do you want to celebrate tonight? I'm sorry. I apologized to him, but please don't get too close to me in the future. Don't we even have this little bit of friendship left? I turned and left, leaving Alex standing there dejectedly. Later, I also heard my junior classmates talk about Alex several times, saying that Lily was always by his side. He didn't want to be with Lily, but he couldn't get rid of her. He would hate Lily, but also feel soft-hearted towards her. You won't be soft-hearted towards him, will you? My junior student asked me. How could that be? I said, I am just happy for them. Both Lily and Alex got what they wanted.